I'm Carrie Schmelkin with the TMC Newsroom, and we're in Miami at IT Expo. I'm joined today by Scott Wharton, CEO of Vidtel. Scott, welcome.
Great, thanks for having me.
Thanks. So tell us a little bit about Vidtel.
Well, Vidtel is a cloud-based video conferencing provider. So we purely focus on a service, and we do what we call any-to-any video conferencing. So we can take the very high-end enterprise video conferencing systems like Cisco and Polycom in the boardrooms, and the consumer stuff we're all familiar with, Skype, Google, etc., on your smartphones, your tablets, your PCs, and make them all work together.
Great. So what brings you to IT Expo? Any news you're releasing, anything like that?
Well, I've been going to almost all the IT Expos since the beginning. It's a great show. Yeah, we have announced some news. So we announced a channel partner called Myers Network Solutions, and in concert with MSP World.
Oh, great.
And we sell 100% through channels. So it's a great example of channels that we're announcing and why we're at IT Expo to recruit and build up our channel base.
Great. And what have you been hearing on the show floor, or when you've been sitting in any panel discussions? You know, what's the word at IT Expo?
Well, not surprisingly for me, a lot of it is video
Yep.
and video conferencing. And I think a lot of people now are migrating from voice to video, not only just talking about what video conferencing can do, but people really needing to put solutions in place, and their customers are asking for it. So a lot of real practical discussion about how to deliver video conferencing to business people around the world.
Right. So now you've been in the industry for about 4 years. So tell me about how the company's evolved over the last couple of years.
Well, we've evolved from launching our initial services to really sharpening around this Meet Me functionality. Part of what we've launched in the last year is, in addition to a bunch of channels, really solidifying this idea of the Skype and Google functionality with the high-end systems. And then we've expanded over the last few months, and not only having Skype and Google work on laptops, but also extending it out to smartphones, iPads, iPhones, etc. And that's really critical as more and more people use their smart devices and tablets for video conferencing to be able to make them work together.
Sure. So how do you distinguish yourselves in this marketplace? How do you remain competitive?
Well, partly it's, I think for a lot of service providers, what they do is they take a lot of people's technology and they're really marketing companies. We're purely a technology company, but we deliver as a service. So a lot of the technology that we described about providing this bridging and linking together the consumer and business services, we've developed it ourselves, so it's fairly unique technology. And then the other part is because we've developed a lot ourselves, we can be very aggressive and disruptive on the price points. So for example, on our bridging side, we're about 5 to 10% of the total cost of someone buying a bridging solution, and in some cases giving them more functionality. And then we're a fraction, about a fifth the price of the traditional services that compete with us. So we can be both better and dramatically cheaper, so that's a pretty sharp value proposition.
Right, that's great.
Yeah.
So is there anything going on in the industry right now, and you've touched upon a couple trends that you're particularly excited about and want to see how it keeps evolving?
I think one of the most exciting trends for all of us is the emergence of smartphones and tablets just taking on more and more functionality and getting better, faster, cheaper. So I think the combination of having tablets that are really robust and having the two cameras and also having LTE and 4G wireless technology is great, because instead of being only tethered to your desk, you can have video conferencing and really take it anywhere. So it's a combination of boardrooms that are expanding. People still don't want to hover around the laptop. You want to have 5 or 6 people in a conference room, but the ability to have other people wherever they are around the world be able to bring in their tablets and not have to rely on any one device. I think that's pretty exciting, because what it means is that we not only have millions of people in the enterprise using video conferencing, but then you have the billions who have all these other devices. So our addressable market's just, it's become the whole world.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys?
I think the next thing is really just to continue expanding out our channels and selling to more customers, and probably continue to add new what we call adapters. So in addition to Skype or Google, there are many other things and proprietary implementations that we want to add, so that you never have to ask the question, what network are you on, what protocol are you using? You should just be able to dial, just like you do in the voice world, and do the same thing for video.
Well, thanks so much, Scott.
Great, thanks for having me.